with you today, and off of True World Disclosure, and we're going to be talking about a big event that's going on right now, and it's the only time it'll ever happen in history. I like to call it the Age of Apollo, or the Age of Azazel. Fallen angels, basically. And the reprint of what they're going to do again. There's nothing new under the sun, thus saith the Lord, as it's said by the Lord. And we find in, out in outer space, all these pictures, these CGI renderings that we keep getting, when that's exactly how they word it too, for like NASA or SpaceX. But our planets, what do you think they are? Look closely, and if you notice, you'll see darker than dark, blacker than the night around them, eyes. Several groups of them. Easy to see. Later on in this video, I will raise this contrast to where you can tell a lot easier just by doing that. But other than that, I like to keep all my photos that I take original, unmarred, just for a lot of good reasons. We were warned by several people throughout history about Mr. Adam Weishaupt, who actually restarted the Illuminati, and we find that there's stones from ancient past even that match up with today's representation of it, and it's even printed on our dollar bill. One thus saying, from several thousand years ago in ancient pre-Phoenician, the Son of the Most High Creator cometh. Now that's a warning. I would take that as a great one. You see there's DNA manipulation, genetics that were being done, experimentations. We find out also about the very course of the earth, the very state of the earth being different. Of all these warnings that we get in Hollywood, showing what they call the Anunnaki or some, they try to make them sound as ETs. So part of their mission is for false flag, alien invasion. Now there are UFOs, and I'll even show you true pictures of it. Interdimensional, what I like to call craft, that's their origin. But we see that all these space people that we trust to, like that with the government, yes, here you'll find where they slip. And they talk about where this lady catches Trump right off the bat about the COVID thing. That's basically saying there are several hoaxes that we can catch them on as evidence and proof that we should not listen to them.
Oh, you didn't hear about it. Huh? He's asking, and then he's telling you.
And I would state this as education for the most important minds, but that would be a far reach. So I'm not going to state that. I'm just going to say this is all conjecture.
Oh, you will. Okay, you're right on top of it, but you don't know shit about it.
Say this stuff is you can be easily punished on here, believe me, to where I can't even play a video if we say things are a fact.
You're going to look at it and take a look, but you
they say they're not, even though they may be. It doesn't matter. They don't care. If they don't want to hear it, they will discredit it.
Who was president then? What the heck?
Now, see, we see in the tribute, or 9/11 tribute, this last year actually, I was recording and I caught several still photos of light orbs that are traveling up and down throughout the stems here, as you see. Now, are these the same spirits we're talking about, that the Anunnaki that they spoke of in several different civilizations, ancient? The Sumerians were primarily the biggest ones that they got this from. And ancient aliens likes to twist the truth about that and say those who came from above, but that's not the case. You see the very state of the earth. These are actual photographs I just showed you over the North Pole. Now, that did not look like some little landmass that Santa Claus halfway goes to, does it? It looks like your toilet drain or your bathtub drain. Looks like a drain, funnel going down in. There's a polar vortex, and I refer to it. We find through a lot of these teachings that they're teaching us about even ancient representations of vehicles in the air, aircraft. That is this high tech from spirits that are already on the earth. They have gone so far, as like in the pre-Ubadian culture, as you just saw there with those statues, that these were lizard, reptilian type of people. Why is that? Well, if you recall, and I'm going to go so far as even say the Bible has been messed with a lot. They left over 75% of it out. So it's easy for people like Adam Weishaupt and the president and all these people we look to, and Hollywood actors and stuff, to twist the truth. But these Kabbalists believe that if they tell you a little bit of truth, that they're in the good. The rest of it can be a lie, It can be made up conjecture. if you really want to talk about conjecture, fantasy. So anyway, we see, look at these planets, and you can see them easy as day. These, my friends, are the cherubim. The 10 chief cherubim there were, actually there were 5 cherubim that went over 10 head seraphim. Now what had happened is these cherubim, they didn't do direct contact. So they got punished in a separate prison. That's why they say planet prisons and stuff like that. You hear that common lot. It's because they know a little bit about the truth. These are indeed a separate prison rather than the abyss, where Azazel and his angels were condemned because they did direct contact, but are to be released. I tell you that 2014 and 2012, I actually think it was 2014 when it was done, but this is when the fallen angel presence was really known at its highest. So I'm saying that's when they come back. That's the warning for the Mayan calendar, I would even suggest, if you get my point. But I would take a lot of this stuff to heart if you truly care about your life, your children's life. Look at this stuff. This is, like I said, they even put down, there's a fly up there. I can't see it. There's a fly up there, and then there's a fly over this ridge, over this part right here. And then, I mean, you can't get any stupider than this, I'm telling you. Well, listen, I can do CGI rendering all day, but if you really, I mean, this was, I did that like in a couple seconds just for this video to show you, it didn't take any time. It doesn't take any time. Now, so imagine if they spend maybe a half hour on it, or an hour. They can get that thing looking spot on, my friends. But there are ways to tell. And I'm trying to not only educate you on some things, but teach you how to tell a true photo from a false photo. First of all, these are true. As you can see, these are planetary prisons. Notice how they also look like an aerial above photography of a pyramid. That should give you a hint. Now, it's been known that I said this years ago, probably 20 years ago, not to brag, because I don't, this is not about who's right and who's wrong or anything like that. This is about your life. This is about your soul. This is about what God is, your creator, and what he did for you, and that he's cleaning up a mess, basically, that some spoiled children of him had done when they were on probationary period. I dare tell you that this earth was not meant for man at the beginning, even though God knew it would happen. It was a good open up place to do that. But this was a probationary ground for Satan and his angels when they first were kicked out of heaven. What did they do? Worst thing you could do. Influence 200 others to generate mankind. So we find that ever since Adam was even created, because you gotta look and see. I want you to look at these pictures real well. I mean, you can tell right there, like in that purple one, this green one here. I mean, look, it shows the same aerial as a pyramid above, which we thought they had 4 sides. But if you look in the middle of the 4 sides, you can see a little slight curve there, a turn there. That's, I'm saying that it has 8 sides, which we have found it to be the case with pyramids now. So that does too. So it looks cubical when you look at it, almost kind of like at an angle. You get me? So you're seeing exactly what you're seeing. Now, we had the Vatican hiding stuff. Back there was the one world map. They flash these shots real quick on TV, so if you get lucky, you might be able to catch it. But if you can get it to stop and pause on it, that's good, because those are the photographs that you need to prove that they're hiding stuff from you. That was the Vatican holding that. And if they're holding evidence like that from you, who knows what they're holding? What else? I mean, I dare say people say, well, how do we know what they lied about? I mean, look at their faces. You can tell. They look like frog faces. They're unclean spirits. But people say, what do you throw out? I say, throw it all out. I dare say they have lied about everything. So just take it all out and throw it out the door. Look at that. 2 lies right there. I mean, well, sorry, flash to the other one. But they're so evident. Like that one there, he looked like unclean spirits. They almost look like the faces. They do look like the faces of what we call HEG gray aliens. And I tell you, those are interdimensional, and they're the physical that they can possess. So those are for the demon spirits to play. Look at around that. They're just looking around the rim, down at us. The pyramid is focusing light, power, from the earth, up, past the firmament, going through the glass, going through water. That's why you see waves and ripples. And then you see the fires. You are seeing the floor of heaven. That's right above them. And it even gives you that description in the Bible. So, this is an angel, actually, a picture I had taken. And I'm pretty sure it was an angel. I mean, I don't know what else it could be. Look at it. And it looks like the standing image of an angel. Appears on it. You know, and that photo has not been messed with at all. So like I was saying, all these, like Eric von Däniken, if you look, their spirit exudes them, these evil spirits. Read the book of Enoch, I stress. It tells you about these evil spirits. It tells you everything about them. But it exudes the flesh. And if you look at some of his past photographs, you see reptilian eyes. That's the demented spirit of these cherub. You get me? I think you do. And any children that came from them are going to be demented like it. That's why we get demons. And the fallen angels, once they fell from heaven, God stripped them of their original beauty, and they become ugly and demented. So while we're trying to genetically modify us into what they think are the perfect beings to be worshipped, ultimately they're just trying to destroy us. That's what this genetic stuff is about. This is a video from the Pentagon. Yes, it is. You'll find it authentic. It's been taken down several times. This will probably be taken down again. But, you know, don't take it as fact. This is just something that we just caught on, you know, just having to see. We don't think it's real. Right? Right. Anyway, they talk about the vaccines, as you can hear. I'll turn the volume up. I'll let you listen to them. I know, I talked all the way through the Trump thing. I apologize for that, but I'll explain that a little bit better.
So we have some very,
I don't want you to listen to
remarkable data in this next slide.
Just sit in.
Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different
what part of the brain
different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top
being a fanatic.
is
Now, that's what they
individual,
consider
religious
anybody who believes in
and
God.
individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here, who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual was self-described as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual right lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's the part of the brain associated with theory of mind. It's the part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In contrast, in marked contrast, here's an individual
As you can see, I mean,
not
this thing you're talking about changing
self-described as
your very mindset. Not only that, but there's a warning about chimerism. I tried to get the video to transfer, but it wouldn't let me do it because it was at a different resolution. But just take my word that I seen it anyway. And it was a warning from a lady who nobody can get hold of now, it seems. Was on the Oprah show. She was a doctor. Last name was Northrop, I think, something like that. And I just did that as a reference. She had blonde hair, I'll give it that. She was on the Oprah Winfrey Show over 10 times, on Rachel Ray, all the other numerous television shows is how she puts it even. And yeah, I've seen her several times before, and that's when I watch TV. Now I refuse, knowing that it is a trap in so many ways, and it's made to dumb you down, hypnotize you, and keep you in the loop with demons, basically, and commune with them. And you don't want to do that. This stuff is real, my friend. They're talking about it. The Pentagon. If that's not official, I don't know what is. You're sitting here talking about how to dumb down, knock out the God belief. Why? I wonder why. Why are they focusing on that? You know, religious fanatics. Well, he done slipped and said, you know, the ones that believe in God and things like that. That to them is a religious fanatic. The God we're talking about anyway. And that they're focusing on. That's what it does. And so what they're going to do is basically, and this is Satan's plan, it's not for you to just worship him, no. It's for you not to worship God. You just got to remember that. That's all it is. It has nothing. It used to be there for a while, and he realized he couldn't win at that. And his only attempt, his main attempt, his big attempt, is to get rid of mankind. Because the angels, like I say, when the books were taken out and stuff, if you read the first book of Adam and Eve, you'll find that the story of Cain and Abel is totally switched around. Just to justify blood sacrificing for a while. But if you even notice, despite that, you notice that all the Old Testament, God never once requires a sacrifice of killing something. Ever. In fact, he spits on it all the time. He's always mad at these certain countries for even doing it, for even thinking about it. So why would he be approval of Abel's sacrifice? People always go to the right. No, think. How does killing an animal cover your sin? You just committed 2 sins now. How can that? How is murdering something going to help cover us? That's just the devil's lies again. The father of all lies.
Here, guys, you're hearing it from the main media.
This is proof that they
I've been telling you the whole time. Well, here it is. I've got all the proof you need.
The actual sheep herder instead of the truth of where he was a vegetable grower and a cultivator and grew something beautiful out of the earth and gave it to God rather than kill something needlessly like Cain did. It makes total sense now. It throws the whole Bible back in line, don't it? I always had a problem with that, even as a child. I know you did too. Most of you did too. The ones that read that. Oh, wait a second, man. He's kind of a vicious guy. That right there automatically tells a lie about the Most High. So like I said in my last video, it's not just... I don't want to get clear to you. It's not about the fact that they just lied about the earth, the way it's shaped, and all these things on the earth, all these fake viruses actually being bacteria and then being souped up by us. And then us doing, like I said, I was going to explain, that woman caught him when they found documentation showing that Obama, when he was in 2015, here's another criminal, Fauci, had approved $2.8 billion to China, to Wahoo.
Yeah, how would you know that?
I can't even say it right.
There's no doubt.
For the research of the COVID-19. Exact words. The vaccine. I mean, not the vaccine, the COVID-19. Now, the vaccine is, so they've been on that they've been working on this for quite a while. And you see when they're talking about giving the vaccine through flu shots and things like that. Right there, in that Pentagon video. Now, this is all conjecture. I mean, this can't be fact. No. I'm going to dare say, just, entertain the idea that it might be a possibility anyway. Okay? Let me put it this way. I would never waste my time and this and my resources and never collect a penny for this, for any time I talked about God. Even on my old channel that they horribly brandished me on and kept me from even being able to get back into, so it was doing good, actually, rather well, and they were deleting videos, and I was still doing good. And this one, they got me so algorithms, they got the computer genetics down real tight, I guess, and to where it's almost impossible to get a video of mine to play, even if you type my name in. That's how bad it is, my friends. They have got control. When I say they lied about a lot of stuff, I'm telling you, they have got total control over every major organization, every media outlet, everything, to the degree to where they can just squash out whatever you say half the time, or cover it up, or do something like that, or lie to you altogether about it, or put false charges on me, or something like that. But I pray to Yeshua that anybody that does anything to go against thy truth, that thou seek immediate, your vengeance alone, dear Lord, is enough, more than enough, and just and right. I had to put that in there because it does save me a lot. A lot of people probably don't believe that, but it is true. There's been several times they could have taken me out, but they know that Jesus, they know who he is, they know who Yeshua is. They are scared to death, my friends, of him. Scared to death. They're doing this for temporary, just because they're wusses. These people don't know how to live a life uncomfortable. Everything has to be the way they say. And they've showed their seed is not pure by any means. It's a bad seed. And at halftime, a lot of people get mad when I say this, but I have found from the research that I've done, the bloodline that we're talking about, the enmity between the seed. Even there, yes, The Bible still, the King James Version, is about as truthful as you can get as what version they've given us. And you say, what version? Yeah, that's what it says. A version. And how many editions? That means it's been edited. Addition is plural. My friends, do we think that it hasn't been messed with a little bit too? And most of it just left out. That would be horribly naive now, wouldn't it? Because he tells us now, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, don't blah, blah. But we do this stuff every day, like it's nothing. But we're not going to, no, we won't do that. To even make it worse, they slapped holy on the Bible, after knowing it wasn't holy, just to kind of propaganda, my friends. It's all in the advertising. It's what they sell you and what you buy. I'm going to ask you again, if you don't know the Lord, if you don't know Yeshua, this is the state of things. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounded so insane when I found out about the earth being stationary, square, flat, 236 times in the Bible that way, pretty much, is how he says it. And we ignore that, and we listen to the world's science. Just like Vince Rhodes said the other day about science, you know. Well, I mean, the only difference I have an opinion on that, and I agree with him pretty much on everything, is that science isn't a bad thing. It's what we've made out of it. It's not science, it's the enemy. Science is a real thing. It is a actual definition of what something is, what its makeup is. We always say, well, what's the science of it, don't we? That's how we state things. What's the makeup of things? What is the makeup of that? Blah, 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 blah. Well, if we give you a false makeup, then it throws you in the wrong direction altogether, is what I'm trying to tell you. So, man, just like everything else, comes along because of these fallen angels. Listen, made a pact with him. I was going to say a compact, like a whatever. Anyway, see, look at that. I mean, why does the CIA redact stuff like that? That last picture you saw was of an ancient site that I found around here, also, and it's in this county. But there was several images I found to be very, very, very peculiar, and it was kind of letting you know that they did DNA manipulation, and they're going to do it again. It's warning us. And on top of it, there's the warning that I was telling you about from the lady, from the Oprah Winfrey Show, who warns us about the vaccine, who's highly reputable. See, that's how easy it is. Or they're laughing at us about we believe in, and then there's CGI. They've even got it marked on all their photos, my friends. Artist rendering. These demons have got us. This Illuminati. But this woman warns us how it tries to change us into a chimera. And the chimera's like a sphinx. The sphinx is like a hybrid man. And we've seen all these ancient glyphs there in Egyptian times and stuff. And listen, even the Egyptians know the earth is stationary. Got a dome over it that is flat. As flat as you can get. It's not the New World Order agenda. No, their agenda is to get you to believe that this is what the United Nations even uses as their flag, showing us how the earth is. And we still don't get it. And like, what about the sun, man? I mean, why is there clouds behind it and around it? And you can tell me, that's just too much proof. Photos I've even got that I've taken where you saw some of the sun's back here. That was me. That's from what I did. And what I took in unaltered photos. Now, we've been listening about this Space Federation. I'm warning you, that was pictures from Antarctica, showing you that there's pyramids down there, and they're lined up like Orion, the same way. What is Orion? It's the planetary lines, which there's 5. And even in the ancient times, even the Kabbalists knew that they had to keep reference and reverence, highest reverence, towards those 5 cherub prison planets. That's what they are. That's exactly what they are. And then there's heaven, there's the water around us outside the dome. They're trying to bring back these ancient Nephilim, the DNA manipulation of the true strand of man, because Satan does not want man around. He despises. So I'm going to trick us with Hollywood. They're going to take all these true photos like this out. They're going to even lie about the moon and the sun and what it does. And right there it shows you it's plasma. Now I've been barking a lot, and you've been hearing it from a lot of people now about the plasma stuff. And, oh, how are we doing it? Oh, I've been saying this for quite a while, that we don't talk about that. You know, that's the one thing they stay away from on teaching us, the 4th state of matter, plasma. Well, it's probably because they're using plasma technology at such a level that it's going to trick man. And the strong delusion that the New World Order has easily already got people believing in, like aliens being on all these, on Mars. There's flies on Mars, okay. Just flying around, but there's no life. Okay, but there's flies. All the civilizations have even warned us. Why do you think they've all left where they're originally from? They knew what they'd done was wrong. My friends, look at the evidence. It's all around you. Right there is the dome. Chair. Believe it. Thank you. This has been True World Disclosure. Have a great day.